In this video, we are going to discuss the class 8 chapter, The Model Millionaire. This is going to be a part 2 or second half of the chapter, and the first half, that is part 1, is already been uploaded in my channel, and the video link of the same will be shared in the description box and even in the I button above, so that you can watch it easily and have the complete understanding of the chapter. And one more update, students, if you want all the lesson explanation from lesson number 1 till date and the poem explanation along with the complete notes, you will find all the videos in the class 8 playlist of my channel. So to find the link again, you will have to visit the description box, and I'll also share the playlist link in the I button above so that you can easily watch all the chapters along with the complete notes and prepare yourself. So let's move ahead, students. One more update and a reminder for you all to subscribe Scorpio Class Hindi channel too, because in this channel we are uploading all the Hindi lessons explanation along with the question answers videos, complete notes, and the grammar notes as well of class 7, 8, 9, and 10. So again, to get the link of this channel, you'll have to visit the description box and find the link also in the I button above. You'll have to subscribe it, share it with your friends. So you have number of links in the description box. Do visit and take the fullest benefits. So let's get started, students, with the chapter. So in the previous video, we had seen first half. We saw the character Erskine Yogi's life, about his love life, about his conversation with his friend who was also a very good painter, and he also met a model over there. So now let's see what surprise he gets next in his life. So here we go. You told that old beggar all about me, cried Hoogie, looking very red and angry. So here, Hoogie gets to know that his friend Alan, who was a painter, who has said all the things to that old beggar about Hoogie, like all the details: who is he, where does he live, what does he do, and each and everything was said to him. So after listening to this, Hoogie was very red and angry. Then Trevor says him, "My dear boy, that old beggar, as you call him, is one of the richest men in Europe. He could buy all London tomorrow and never miss the money. He has a house in every capital city, eats of gold plates, and can prevent Russia going to war when he chooses." "What on earth do you mean?" exclaimed Hughie. So this was the first surprise Hughie got, that the person whom he met as the old beggar in the morning in Trevor's house where he was painting was not in fact an old beggar, but he was the richest man in Europe, and he could buy the whole London in a day, and he would never miss the money. And he had a house in every capital city. He had the plates of gold on which he had his meals, and he could even prevent Russia going to the war whenever he chooses like. So such are his wealth and power. So Huggy was very much surprised. He says his friend, "What on earth do you mean that?" "Then what I say," said Trevor. Trevor says, Alan says, "Yes, whatever I said is real. The old man you saw today was Baron Hosberg." Now that richest person, the old beggar model was standing there, was Baron Hosberg. His name was Baron Hosberg. "And he is a great friend of mine." Means he is a great friend of Alan. He buys his all his paintings and that sort of thing, and he gives him good money. So he says that he asked me a month ago to paint him as a beggar, and since he is paying well, I could not refuse. So now Alan reveals that he has asked me from a month ago to paint him as the old beggar, and since then he is paying me very well, so I couldn't refuse to make his painting on in that way. And I must say, I think he made a splendid model. So it was a super model which he has been through, and the painting was very good. "Baron Hosberg!" cried Hughie. "Good heavens! I gave him a sovereign." "Gave him a sovereign?" shouted Trevor, and he burst into a roar of laughter. So now you would remember, students, that in the last video, in the last paragraph of this chapter, we saw that Hughie was feeling very pity on this old beggar, and he gave him a sovereign, a small gold coin of little bit of denomination. So now he says to his friend that, "What have I done here? I have given a sovereign to him. He's the richest person, and I thought he's the old beggar, and I handed him a sovereign there. So when Trevor comes to know this, he started to laugh. He bursted in laugh. I think you might have told me, Alan, said Hoogie crossly, and not let me make such a fool of myself. So now Hoogie says, Alan, that you should have said to me earlier that he is not an old beggar, but he is the richest person who's just standing as a model for a pain. Then I would have not done such a big foolish mistake. Well, to begin with, Hoogie, said Trevor, I did not think that you went around giving away your money in that way. And really, when you came in, I did not know if Hosberg would like his name mentioned. So now Hoogie says that I really did not know that you are just moving around and giving your money away in this manner to each and every person whom you feel pity on. I really was not knowing this that you are such a kind-hearted person. So this was a kind of taunt he was or comment he was passing to his friend. Anyways, and then he says, really, when you came in, I was not knowing. I did not know whether if Hosberg would like to be uh, mentioned his real name, that he is not an old beggar but a British person. Maybe he wouldn't like it, so I did not open up in front of him. I did not say anything in front of him about the about his model and about his richness. What a duffer he must think me, said Hoogie. Now Hoogie is feeling a bit embarrassed. He's thinking, what might that person, richest person, would be thinking about me? Not at all. He was very happy after you left. He kept laughing to himself and rubbing his old hands together. So his friend Alan says, no, no, not at all. He never thought anything about you. He was very happy, in fact, after you left. And he was laughing and just rubbing his old hands together. I couldn't understand why he was so interested in you at that time. Then Alan continues that he was very much interested in you and he was asking each and every question there. But I see it all now. But now I come to know why he was asking, because you have given a sovereign, you have done some good work. He was moved by the kind heartedness of you. Now then he says, the money which you have given, a little bit of coin, maybe he will invest your sovereign for you, Hoogie, and pay you the interest every 6 months. So maybe that little amount which you have given, he may use it in his business, he may invest it, and you may get the interest of it after every 6 months, and that will be a huge amount. So he'll also have a good story to tell his friends after dinner. Then he might also have a good story now to say to his friends after the dinner that what happened with him, and he was standing as a model and all that. Hoogie came and gave him the money, all those things. Yeah. Then Hoogie walked home feeling very unhappy and leaving Trevor laughing loudly. So Trevor could not stop laughing. That is Alan. Alan Trevor is his full name. Okay. So he couldn't stop laughing what Hoogie had done, and Hoogie, in a sad manner, he left home from there in a very unhappy mood. Now, next scene is about the messenger. Now, messenger comes. Now, what happens next? The next morning, as he was eating his breakfast, his servant brought in a card on which was written, Mr. Gustav Nordin, messenger of Baron Hosberg. I suppose he has come for an apology, said Hughie to himself, and he told the servant to show the visitor in. Okay, so next morning when he was eating his breakfast, Hughie was having his breakfast. The servant came inside and brought a card, and on that it was written that Mr. Gustav Norden is waiting outside. He is a messenger of Baron Hausberg. And here, after seeing this name, that he is a messenger of Baron Hausberg, Hugo starts thinking by himself that he has come for me to ask, to take an apology from me. I should ask for apology for sorry for what I had done with Baron yesterday. So he told the servant to show the visitor in, like, let him come in. Okay. Now, an old gentleman with gold spectacles and gray hair came into the room and said with a French accent, do I have the honor of speaking to Mr. Erskine? Hoagie bowed. So when this person came in, this messenger was an old gentleman. He was wearing gold spectacles and gray hair was there on him, and his accent was French accent. So he asked, do I have the honor of speaking to Mr. Erskine? The way he asked the permission was also very good. Okay, the Hoogie board, like, means it was yes. I have come from Baron Hosberg, he continued. The Baron. So he said, I have come from Baron Horsburgh. He has sent me here. And so before he says anything, again Hoogie says, I ask, sir, that you will offer him my sincerest apologies. So he started asking for sorry. Just tell sir that I have asked for sorry for whatever I did with him yesterday. Then the Baron said the old gentleman with a smile has asked me to bring you this letter, and he held out a sealed envelope. The Baron said, no, I have not come for any apology, but I came here because this envelope has to be given to you. This letter has to be given to you. It is given by Baron. So, with a great smile, he said this and he handed over a sealed envelope, something which was there inside the envelope. It was packed and sealed. He gave it to Hoogie. On the outside of the letter on the envelope was written, a wedding present to Hook Erskine and Laura Merchant from an old beggar. And inside was a check for £10,000. Okay, so that was a gift for him. It was sent by that old beggar, that Baron, who was the richest person, and he has given a wedding present to him that was £10,000. So, as you remember at the start, we saw that this Hoagie, he wanted to marry Laura Merton, but her father had said him, until and unless you own your own £10,000, don't think about it. And when you achieve this, you can come to me and we will get you married. So now, when Alan had described all these things to the old beggar, the old beggar wanted to help Hoogie. So he gave this check because he was so kind hearted. He knew him and he was happy with the act he did. He sent him this gift. Okay, a check of £10,000. Now, the next was the wedding. When they were married, Alan Trevor was the best man, and the Baron made a speech at the wedding breakfast. So at last the wedding happened, and Alan was there. He was the best man in the occasion, and Baron was also there. He delivered a speech at the wedding breakfast there. Millionaire models, remarked Alan, are rare enough, but model millionaires are rarer still. So he says there are many millionaire models there. It is, but we find it rarely. But the model being millionaires, the millionaires who want to become model and want to make their parents like as a parent has done, they are still rarer and rarer. We cannot find easily. So this is about the story how Hoogie felt sorry for the poor person, and in turn that poor person turned out to be the richest person because he liked this kind act of Hoogie. He gave him the huge amount of £10,000 as a gift for his wedding. Okay, so one good turn returns the other. We can say this is the moral of the story. And here we come to an end. I hope you all like the story and the video. If you have liked the video, do hit the like button and share it with your friends. Do subscribe to the channel and